we'll go now to 15. The amendment of the official police toll services ordinance. All right. This is Councilman Cruz.
Yes, Mayor.
Yes.
I would like, first of all, I would like to read paragraph item number 15 of the amendment of the official police tow trucks. And I want everyone to be aware that upon agreeing to this agreement with the tow company, it will, in summary, the above revisions will replace the city's non-exclusive franchising to one that is exclusive to one franchise. The franchise term will be extended from 4 to 10 years without the necessity to go out for RFP. For renewal of the City Council determines that the service provided by the franchisee is exemplary. The franchise fee is set at 25% of the franchisee's gross revenues. And if anybody would like to take the time to look at some of the tables and some of the fees that will be charged for storage and so forth, and as you know, we feel that a lot of these have not been competitive. So that means that whatever tow company, and Royal Coaches is listed on this agreement, the City of Baldwin Park has currently awarded the franchise for official tow truck services to Royal Coaches pursuant to Chapter 100 of the Baldwin Park Municipal Code. The franchisee has requested, and the city is recommending several revisions to the tow ordinance. That means that they will get the contract exclusively from 4 to 10 years, and there will not be a fair process to put it out there for RFP. Now, Councilmember Garcia just said that she would like transparency, and she would like for it to be a fair process on just simply commissioners. So, or people on a committee. So I say this is a very important document for our residents of Baldwin Park. I also have a letter, or a copy of a letter here that was written and sent to all the council members. I don't know if any of you got them. It is signed by Sister Rosario Maldivia. It is signed by Julieta Nieto. It is signed by Rosario Alonso, Sister Rocio Alonso, and Benito Armenta, and Father Mike. There's also, I see Pastor Rios is here, and some of the other faith-based pastors unfortunately left early, but there's a lot of people from our community that are very concerned about this agreement going out this way. And also, I had a copy, I forgot to bring it with me, of the findings of the grand jury that brought up a lot of, and I'm sure that legal counsel can give you all a copy of the grand jury, all the findings that they found when they investigated the City of Baldwin Park in regards to a lot of the towing issues. There were a lot of findings. It's extremely important to look at that document. I strongly advise everyone not to vote for this towing issue today. And let's have a community meeting, or let's sit down and work this out before we make this hasty decision. My vote is to wait and not agree or make a motion as to this towing contract. Thank you. This item over.
Oh, okay.
My recommendation is to put this item over, and for me to be able at that time, instead of taking up time now, to be able to look at all those changes and sit down with you if it's all right, Robert. And I really do believe that we need to reach out to the community and also ask them what would they like to see from a tow company. And it doesn't matter who it is, but to also see what they would like. So my motion is to move this item to the April meeting.
Okay, all object.
I really do believe that we need to reach out to the community and also ask them what would they like to see from a tow company. And it doesn't matter. I really do believe that we need to reach out to the community and also ask them what would they like to see from a tow company. And it doesn't matter.
I have to read this again because Vice Mayor Pacheco seems to think that we can do an RFP at another time. But this specifically reads, the franchise term will be extended from 4 years to 10 years without the necessity to go out for an RFP for renewal of the city council determines that the service provided by the franchisee is exemplary. So it will not go. The council will decide if it can go out to RFP or not. And you know what happens when the council changes. So I still don't like the wording. I would like to bring it back so that we can give our residents, I will repeat what Councilmember Rubio said. I would like for our residents or for us to take a look at this and really look at it and dissect it and make it fair for our residents. I do not feel that this is fair to our residents, and my community is very important to me. That's what I look for, number one, rather than anything else. Thank you.
All right, yes, Vice Mayor.
I definitely always make sure I look out for the residents of the community, and I do what's best for our city. I think that this, and you and I must be reading it differently, but it does have, if we want to go to an RFP or not, there's still that option in there. So I think right now we're just doing an ordinance change. I'm not doing any special favor to any other group or anybody else. Thank you.
The towing issue, yes, there were a lot of people that didn't have a driver's license, AB 60 passed, and we do not have the checkpoints at this point in time. However, there has been a lot of issues with the towing situation. That concerns me. All I'm asking is for us to bring this back to April so that we can all take a good look at this and make sure that we love what's on here before we vote for it. Right now, I don't love it, so I can't vote for it.
Sorry.
We just discussed the Dial-A-Ride company. We just discussed how they've been here a long, long time, and we just discussed terminating their contract. What if we would have had a 10-year contract? Then we would have been locked in and not able to have any choice. Whether they perform fantastically or not, we would have been locked in, and I think it's always just good. When there are shorter contracts, I believe it encourages our community, and not only to work better with that company, but also the company to produce better services. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, so at this point, let me go back. So Councilman Cruz Baca made a motion to reschedule for a future meeting. I objected. Was there a second for her request? There's no second?
Yes, I'm sorry.
There's a second? Okay. One objection, which is myself. So at this point, we'll take a roll call. So.
Councilmember Cruz?
Yes.
Councilmember Rubio?
Yes.
Mayor Lozano?
No.
Councilmember Garcia? No. Mayor Pro Tem Pacheco?
No.
All right, so the motion dies. It is 2-3. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to pass the ordinance. So that's my motion.
I object.
Okay, there's one objection. Is there a second?
Yes, I object.
Okay, two objections. So at this point, is there a second? That's my motion for the ordinance.
No second?
Okay, second. All right, at this point, we're going to take roll call, and that is, I just voted to pass the ordinance that's set forth.
Okay, this is roll call to pass the Lozano.
Yes.
Objection by Cruz Baca.
No.
Councilmember Rubio? Councilmember Garcia?
Yes.
And Mayor Pro Tem Pacheco.
Okay, so the motion passes 3-2.
Yes, and for the record, I just want to say for the record that Councilmember Garcia, the mayor, and Councilmember Pacheco voted to go ahead and change the ordinance so that in the future, listen to what I read, and also I just want to forewarn you that Councilmember Rubio and myself did not agree to this.
Just real quick before we go on, I just want to make sure that it's understood. Roches was established in the city of Baldwin Park in 1973 by Roberto Salazar. Now this individual fought hard. An immigrant who came here to make a reality and to be able to move his family forward. And that was very important. But I must say that when I was here in the city council in 1995, that company was not allowed to be or even participate as one of the primary companies, because there were other groups here, and they were the first Latinos that actually broke through the actual window itself. Fidel Vargas was the mayor at that time, and it was important. Despite the fact that what individuals are saying here today, your family doesn't deserve it. You are a product of the city of Baldwin Park. You attended the schools of your family. Say what people will say. There are 75,000 residents in the city of Baldwin Park. This company, Mr. Roberto Salazar and his wife who obviously believed in Baldwin Park and allowed these kids to blossom through here, invested in hundreds and not thousands of dollars throughout the community, the schools, the churches. Everyone has benefited, and there is absolutely no doubt in that particular area. Now, yes, and we're going to look at Councilmember Cruz back what you mentioned. There is, I believe that, I know there was a 5-0, and I will apologize if you did not vote. But at this point, I will stay with that until such time that it's being brought here. So it's important for us to know that the city of West Covina, a city that has over 118,000 residents, gave Royal Coaches, a company that was established in the city of Baldwin Park, 10 years. 10 years they have an exclusive for the city of West Covina. Now we look at the city of El Monte, just to let everyone know, the city of El Monte has its own exclusive towing service. So we as residents, and we are the elected officials of this city, can make a decision. The decision here today is to move this on so that the city council has the opportunity to make a decision whether it be 4 or 5 or 10 years. And that's the decision. That's why we were voted to office, to make tough decisions. And they're important. Remember, there's 75,000 residents in the city of Baldwin Park, and everyone has differences of opinion, and I understand that. But to mock this particular company is wrong, regardless of what you feel. They may have done, a lot more beneficial factors to this community than anything else. Let me make it also clear about the court. They were not found guilty, and that was a civil case. So just to make it very clear, they were cleared. But the unfortunate part, false accusations, you bring them up, and that's the way it works. So I just want to, say to Royal Coaches and to the hundreds of people that you have hired from this community, I want to thank you and continue that same role because it's important for every one of us. Now, Covina, just to let everyone know, City of Covina has its own, do not interrupt me, please. The city of Covina has its own exclusive, and that's Jan's Towing. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I will say that I stayed here. I was here in the council when that Latino tow truck that was denied the opportunity to be a part of this great city, and it continues on. And no matter what opinions we have, we should agree to disagree, because that's what's happening here. That's part of the democratic process. What's being proposed here is part of the democratic process. And we ultimately have the responsibility, because the people of the city of Baldwin Park voted us into office to make these decisions, not to pan this out. And I just want to make that very clear. So I end on that note.
Mayor?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
First of all, I see Bill out there. We just had lunch the other day. He gave me a wonderful flower for Valentine's Day, which I thank him very much. His family and my family go back to the 50s when they first bought their home. I don't like the fact that you are twisting words. This is no attack against Royal Coaches. This is my disagreement on the ordinance. Has nothing to do with Royal Coaches. Nothing. So please don't twist words that my decisions may have something to attack this family. This is a family business. Nobody knows it better than I do. My cousin welded their father's first truck. That's how far back we go. And I understand all of that. And I appreciate the fact, not because they're Latinos or a family, but because they have been a service here to the city of Baldwin Park for many years. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with the ordinance. I feel this is unfair. It is not protecting our people. Please, Bill, and to your family, this is not attacking you in particular. If there was someone else sitting in your place, it would probably be the same thing that I would be fighting for. My passion is our community. Is this agreement going to serve our people as badly as they've been fighting about a lot of these things? And I say no, until I could see. All I was asking was to bring it back to April so that we could digest.
Yeah.
What's that?
Make a comment about Covina.
Hold on. Public communication.
Hold on.
Stop. No, let's go to Mom, please. I'm not going to have to disrupt the city council meeting. Cannot disrupt. Look what he's doing. This is unacceptable. You want to meet after? I'll meet with you. Okay, that's fine. We'll meet together after. Thank you. But do not disrupt the city council meeting. Cruz Baca, this is unacceptable, and you know that. This is unacceptable what he just did.
Mayor, there's a
Please
way
look
to
at that.
be able to quiet him instead of kicking him out. I was kicked out of more council meetings than anyone else before I sat up here with you. So I know that lots of times you get passionate about what you're saying, and lots of times we don't like when there's lies up here. So even sitting here as a council member, I don't like some of the accusations.
Well, let's not
So-
talk about the $1.6 million missing from your family. Okay. All right, let me get back to this then, okay? This is what you're doing.
You're a scumbag.
Okay? All right,
You are a
First of all,
scumbag.
Mayor,
all right, this-
you know that
You are a
Councilmember
scumbag.
Ricardo Pacheco made a long thing about the decorum up here. If you want to discuss personal things, I will, but not up here on the dais, because
That
I'm sure
is-
that you and I could probably swap a lot of stories about things that have been going on. So you want to bring up personal things, that doesn't bother me anymore. Bring my mother, my father, or whoever can still come over here if they could. Bring whoever you want. It doesn't bother me anymore. It really doesn't.
But the thing is, look in the mirror before you talk, please. All right, so at this point, I'm gonna move on to the award. Okay, I'm moving on. Go ahead and open up the public hearing.